back in L.A. You certainly couldn't tell that by what we saw a few moments ago. These folks are pumped up as their Rams get set to do battle. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Vikings. Cousins now to throw on. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll get this one up to the 26. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Cousins now on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Cousins to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 18. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And that was a good run. This is only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Well, you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first down, it's Gurley. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try the air now with Goff. And his throw is incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And now it's 3rd down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Goff. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Minnesota coming back out here on offense, Charles. I want to ask you more about that Week 2 tie, though, that you called against them in Green Bay. What do you take away from that game long term?
Frustration for both sides because it was a tie. Both had their opportunities. But we're talking about Week 2, and we're just going to kind of overlook it, I think, at this time. It'll be interesting when we get around Week 13, Week 14, as the playoff picture comes into full focus, where this tie will rank and what implications it might actually have on both of these teams trying to get into the playoffs.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Looking for Woods that time. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Back to the ground, this time Cook. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, Murray. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. A tackle there by John Johnson. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Second down, Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Morgan. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now a give. This is Murray. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And He'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run here. It's Murray. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Gone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play. But when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing is Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Goff now looking to throw. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here we go, bro. Here we go.
On the counter, Gurley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And some room to maneuver. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
This is Brown on the carry. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Goff. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he gets it down to the 32. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Here we go.
Cousins now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll run the counter with Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Michael Brocker's in on the stop.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
A handoff. It's Murray. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43.
Like 20.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Rams on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Goff. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, let's take a step away from this game for a second. Talk about teams that are undefeated through 2 weeks in the NFL season. Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. How about those surprises all being 2-0 right now?
Yeah, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Rams were all 2-0. Not a major surprise. You're exactly right, because they have one common characteristic, those teams you mentioned, Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, and Tampa. None of them made the playoffs last year. And what's the one thing we do know about the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs a year before will not make them 2 years in a row. So these teams could be some of the early replacements in the playoff race for 2018.
And one more stat, 62% of teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Cousins now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. 10th carry of the game now, Murray. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. On 3rd down, Murray. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here. So for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Well, taking a glance across the NFL through 2 weeks of the season, you've got quite a few teams that are winless, which obviously makes sense 2 weeks in. But the John Gruden era not off to the best start there at 0-2, Charles.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, Brandon. I mean, the Raiders, I believe this is the 15th time in franchise history they've started 0-2. None of the previous 14 times have they started 0-2 and made the playoffs. So the John Gruden era, not off to the start they're looking for, but I do think they're going to improve during the year. I wouldn't rule them out just yet. They might make a little bit of history with their franchise. I think the Steelers and the Browns at 0-1-1, it's an odd record, but the Browns actually feel halfway decent about it if they can fix their kicking. The Steelers, utterly disappointed they're 0-1-1.
Yeah, but the Browns, you're right, they could very easily be 2-0 right now. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. A man who played on this very field for USC, Everson Griffin, coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Sherrills to return it. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Cousins now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Here's Murray. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Whoa! Let's get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. To throw, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Here's Cousins. Now he'll escape to his right. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run for it with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. 3rd and goal. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now it's gone. And Woods has it complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Goff now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. A shotgun snap for Goff. A deep ball for Gurley. Oh, wide open, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here we go, Tom. Here we go.
Goff on first down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Goff throwing again. And Cooks hands it over the middle. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
We go, 180.
From the red zone now, Goff. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Robert Woods, as the first half is winding down. And the Rams have tied the game with the extra point to come.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Extra point up and through. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
A first down throw for Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we come upon halftime here in Southern California with the Rams on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Second down, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. On third down, that's Murray. And he's got some space here. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, sets you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Cousins. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Goff now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Black 20.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Woods. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Watch Mike. Outside coming.
The Rams on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun. Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
Back to the ground game here. Gurley. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver, Josh Reynolds. And it's 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. From the gun, here's Goff. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Reynolds. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And his kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. Here comes Sherrills. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Cousins now on second down, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Rams go nickel here defensively on third. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Matt Wild now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now Goff. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Here's Sherrills. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Dominique Easley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, that's Murray, and he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wondered if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
He'll get it up the middle. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. This close, sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Throwing is Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. 3rd and goal. This L.A. Rams defense will try to bow up once more. Now they'll run. Murray. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Gone. Dancing to his left. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Here's Goff now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. From the gun on third down. Goff. This is caught. It's Cooks. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Now Goff on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To the air again. Goff. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Rams on third down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Let's go! 3-19!
Now Mannion with his first toss since coming in. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch.
Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. And they will take possession of the football right around their own 30. But we say it all the time, offense, defense, don't forget about special teams. Big punt block there.
And how many coaches have told us if we make a big play on special teams, if we find a way to score, whether it was on the play or later, 90+% of the time, we win the game.
Just don't hold them to those numbers.
No, we haven't quantified it yet, but they believe it, and we have seen it happen many, many times in just that manner. Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense. In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you? No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
On third down, that's Murray. And a short gain here down to the 22. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.